There have always been systems of evil throughout human history. While those civilizations may have vanished, those peoples may have died, and their religions, culture, and languages for the most part lost, these stone structures are all that remain. The Quran urges us to pay heed to this. Say, travel in the land, then see how was the end of those before. Most of them were polytheists. Why does Allah in the final testament, the glorious Quran, emphasize on traveling in the land and seeing the end of those polytheists who passed on before us? Is Allah commanding us to do this for no real reason? Or is He trying to open our eyes to the world we live in today? This is the Machinations. Throughout human history, from the moment that the son of Adam slew the other, the system of Satan was established and has merely developed and changed forms since then. But the symbols have always remained, if not entirely intact, reminiscent of a past servitude to Satan. And today the Taghut has spread its tyrannical polytheism all over the world. When the Pharaoh and Egypt fell, the Taghuti system migrated to Rome, and from Rome it infiltrated directly into the Vatican. To this day, St. Peter's Square in the Vatican has an 84-foot tall Egyptian obelisk.
When the history of the 3,000-year-old civilization that was ancient Egypt ended with the birth of the Roman Empire, by the directive of Emperor Caligula, a huge monolith with a height of over 25 meters and weighing about 320 tons was transported on a specially built twin cargo ship across the Mediterranean Sea and delivered to the capital of the empire. Known today as the Vatican obelisk, this ancient Egyptian monument of solid red granite was brought to Rome about 2,000 years ago and was already considered extremely ancient at that time. Some historians attributed the time of its creation to the pharaohs of the 12th dynasty, others to the pharaohs of the 5th dynasty. The place of its origin was the city of Iunu, known to historians as the capital of religious worship of the country since very ancient times of the pre-dynastic period, that is, over 3 millennia BC, since the city also appears in the Old Kingdom pyramid texts as the House of Ra. For a long time, the hidden principles of its geometry were not clear, but now they have been established quite reliably. They are clearly linked to the trajectory of the sun across the sky. These same edges of the colonnade mark the points of sunrise on the days of the summer and winter solstices very accurately.
One should not be surprised that great corruption, child abuse, and pedophilia has erupted within the Vatican.
He is Australia's most senior Catholic, and as head of the Catholic Church worldwide's finances, the third highest ranking official at the Vatican. Cardinal Pell is also the most senior Catholic to stand accused of sexual abuse.
An explosive Vatican report revealing Pope John Paul II knew about extensive sexual abuse allegations regarding adults and minors against Theodore McCarrick, but still promoted him to Archbishop and then Cardinal.
He already was aware of multiple allegations against McCarrick. That included reports of sexual misconduct with another priest, sharing beds with seminarians, and anonymous letters accusing him of pedophilia with his nephews. But McCarrick denied those allegations, and he rose to become one of the most powerful and well-known Catholic leaders in the United States.
At one time, one of the most powerful Catholics in America directed millions of dollars to the church, even as allegations and rumors surfaced for decades.
A similar dark habit of the ancient Greeks. Nor should one be surprised that Christianity has become tainted with polytheistic ideas such as the Trinity, eating the flesh of Christ and drinking his blood.
It could be the demon's hole in the bone.
Why are the tombs at an angle?
They're facing east to worship the rising sun.
But this is a Christian church.
New religions often adopt the existing customs and holidays to make conversion less of a shock. Like the 25th of December, it's the pagan celebration of the unconquered sun and also makes a handy date for the birth of Christ.
This symbol, for those who understand what it represents, is enough of a sign for one to recognize that God is not the one being served, rather it is the Satan. You will find this satanic symbol of polytheism proudly displayed in major cities in countries across the world. In France, in Poland, in Turkey, in the United Kingdom, in England. No surprise, you will find them in the Zionist entity of Israel. And of course, the United States of America, the great Satan. Quite aptly, the world's tallest obelisk is the Washington Monument in Washington, D.C., USA. Standing at 169 meters, that's 555 feet tall. This obelisk was completed in 1884 to honor George Washington, the first president of the United States of America, who just so happened to be a Freemason. We will, inshallah, discuss who the Freemasons were and are today. For now it suffices to say that they were a secret brotherhood of highly powerful men who sought to infiltrate into every influential position of society in order to establish a polytheistic one-world government subservient to Satan. And they have already carried out most of their plans, having brainwashed society using the mainstream media, taken control of world governments and banking systems. George Washington was one of the, if not the most, highest-ranking Freemason of them all. The entire ethos of Islam is to serve the one God, Allah, and to push away, repel, and reject the Taghut. And while Islam commanded us to stone and reject the symbol of Satan, and made absolutely clear for us that the obelisk represents the Taghut and Satan, our enemies were busy taking control of the Muslim lands to cover up the truth, causing us to forget the past, making media projects that would cause the masses of today to celebrate the very same false gods that people of the past had celebrated, and building the biggest monument to Satan on earth. If you are not convinced, then you will be. Stay tuned, inshallah.